As video game technology progresses, it seems that we're heading towards an all-digital future when it comes to game distribution. Sure, there are some benefits, especially being able to buy and play the latest games without ever having to leave your house, but not everything about that is great. There are so many reasons why this inevitable future could be bad, but today we're coming at you with just a handful of them. So get ready, because today we're talking about the top 10 reasons why digital games suck.
Super players.
Number 10. Back in the day, the move was to buy some games, play through them, and then either trade them into a place like GameStop or resell them elsewhere. It wasn't quite an infinite money glitch in real life, but it definitely helped fund a hobby that can get pretty expensive pretty quickly. With digital games, this is no longer possible. When you buy a game from the PlayStation or Xbox store, it's tied to your account, and that's where it lives. You can't sell it back to those companies, and you can't transfer ownership either, so you have it forever. At least in theory. Number 9. Man, have you noticed how big video game file sizes have gotten? We're lucky these days if a game clocks in under 70 gigs. Most of the time with physical copies, the game data will be stored on the disk, and you only need to download patches and updates which are considerably smaller. Obviously, when you buy a game digitally, you have to download the entire thing. And if you're downloading 70 gigs or more on a slow or unstable internet connection, it could take hours for your game to be ready. In some cases, it would even be faster just to go to the store to buy your game, then bring it home, than it would be to just buy the game digitally. That's a sad thought. But that's the reality for owners of consoles like the disk driveless PS5 and the Xbox Series S. Number 8. Speaking of download sizes, painfully long download times aren't the only thing you'll have to deal with if you have an all-digital game library. Remember when you could just pop out a disc and slide another one in when you wanted to change games? If all of your games are digital, you have to rely on your console's storage space to hold all of the games that you might want to play. And unless you have a huge external hard drive attached to your console, odds are you probably don't have enough space. That means if you want to play something from your collection that isn't stored, you have to wait through another download before you can enjoy that game. This might get better if file sizes get smaller or base storage options get bigger, but right now, it sucks. Number 7. Another thing that ties into the previous 2 points is an unfortunate reality for some gamers with certain internet providers. While some of us can freely download whatever we want every month without worrying about our service cutting us off, some people unfortunately have to deal with internet caps. Even worse, sometimes those internet caps might be equal to the size of just one modern AAA video game. So if you have capped internet service and you just downloaded something massive like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, not only are you screwed if you want to download more games, but that's it for your internet usage for the entire month. No YouTube, no web browsing, and definitely no Amazon shopping over Wi-Fi. Bummer. Number 6. Steam has a family sharing feature that allows you to lend your digital games to friends as long as you aren't using them. But it has also been growing and evolving much longer than the other digital storefronts. It is unlikely that Microsoft, Sony, and especially Nintendo will ever allow us to let our friends on other accounts play the games that we own without workarounds. This is something that really sucks. Not too long ago, it was pretty common for friend groups to buy different games and then trade them amongst themselves as a way of saving money. We can still take advantage of this while physical games exist. But once those are gone, an entire form of bonding with your friends will be gone as well. Number 5. Stores like Target and Walmart occasionally have sales on video games. Maybe not very often, but they do happen. Buy 2, get 1 free. Buy 1, get 1 half off, things like that. When was the last time you saw a sale like that on any digital storefront for any console? If you said never, you're correct. Nintendo has a quote-unquote deal, if you could call it that, where Nintendo Switch Online subscribers can buy $100 vouchers that can be used to get 2 games. If you're buying full-priced games, that's only a savings of $20. I guess that's something, but Nintendo games rarely go on sale anywhere anyways. The odds of Microsoft or Sony doing sales as other stores do is almost zero. They own the console and the primary way to get games for it. So why would they do special sales outside of standard publisher sales? They simply wouldn't. That's the answer. Number 4. Sure, collector's editions of games might be a scam to some people, but there is a reason why they exist. Super fans who want to have the best version of a game along with some extra physical goodies tend to buy these items up, and sometimes the extra things that are included with them are pretty awesome. If you buy the most expensive version of a digital game, you're probably just getting some extra DLC and a season pass. No statues to put on a shelf, no cool knickknacks for your desk. Just the digital files you need to play the game. And that's probably fine for most gamers, but there's no doubt that losing something special like collector's editions is a pretty big step backward for gaming. Number 3. In addition to the possibility of a slow internet connection hampering your gaming experience by taking forever to download a game, issues can arise even after that game is downloaded. When you buy a digital copy of a game, your console will need to check in with the store servers every time you start it to make sure you do actually own it. Every time. What that means is that if you go to play a game and your internet is down for any reason, you won't be able to play at all. Sometimes a game, even if it's a single-player one, might need to ping servers periodically while you play. So even if you were okay when you started the game, if that next ping can't go through, you'll get kicked out of the game without warning. Number 2. You could go into any house that had one and look at the shelves full of games. Sure, it served as storage for your precious games, but it was also kind of a badge of honor. Anybody could tell what kind of gamer you were and what kind of games you preferred to play just by looking at your video game collection. Now, those same shelves probably stand empty. With so many gamers preferring to rock with an all-digital collection, how will anybody be able to see all of the awesome games you own? You'd have to boot up your console, scroll over to your collection, and then scroll down the list. That's pretty lame. Having your whole collection visible at all times is way better. Number 1. Remember what we said earlier about a digital game being tied to your account and you own it forever in theory? Well, on digital storefronts, it's not unusual for games to get delisted. This could happen for a number of reasons. Maybe the game has licensed music and those agreements have expired. Or maybe a publisher just doesn't want them to be available anymore. Either way, it's very possible for a game that you bought digitally to just not be available one day, even though you paid the same amount of money you would have paid for a physical copy, which can exist forever. But that's not all. What happens when years and years have gone by and nobody really uses those game stores anymore? The PSP had a digital store where gamers could buy games and download them directly to the handheld. But that's dead and gone. It's the same story for the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U stores. Closed. This is bad for video game preservation, but it's also bad for the consumer who might want to go back to their favorite digital games years later, only to find that they can't be accessed. So there you have it. Do you prefer to buy physical or digital games? Let us know down in the comments. And we'll see you again soon in our next video.
Super players.